On a quiet hill outside the city of Niterói, Brazil, in 1966, a strange discovery shocked investigators. Two men were found dead on a hill called Morro do Vintém. At first, it looked like a normal crime scene, but then police noticed something unusual. The two men were lying next to each other, and both of them were wearing handmade lead masks over their eyes. Nobody knew why. The men were identified as Manuel Pereira da Cruz and Miguel José Viana. They were electronics technicians from Brazil. They were not known as criminals. They had families, jobs, and normal lives. But on August 17, 1966, they left home with a mysterious mission. According to witnesses, they bought raincoats and went to a store where they purchased capsules. Later that day, they traveled to the hill where they were eventually found. Beside their bodies, investigators discovered a notebook with a strange message. 16:30, be at the agreed place. Sherbet and Sensivin, swallow capsules. After the effect, protect metals. Wait for the signal. Those few words created decades of questions. What were the capsules? What did protect metals mean? And most importantly, what signal were they waiting for? The investigation became extremely difficult because there was almost no evidence. There were no clear injuries on the bodies. No weapon was found. And because the bodies had already been exposed to the weather, important clues were lost. The lead masks were especially confusing. Why would two men cover their eyes with homemade metal masks? Some investigators believe the masks were connected to experiments involving electronics, radiation, or supernatural beliefs. Others thought the men were following instructions from someone else. But who? The police tried to discover the truth by investigating the men's final days. They found that both men were interested in electronics and had a curiosity for unusual experiments. But nothing explained why they would climb a hill, take unknown capsules, and wait for a mysterious signal. The case quickly became one of Brazil's strangest unsolved mysteries. And the biggest question remained: did the two men die while attempting a secret experiment? Or were they victims of something much darker? More than half a century later, the answer is still unknown. After the discovery of the two bodies on Morro do Vintém, investigators tried to uncover what really happened. But every answer created even more questions. The most mysterious clue was the lead masks. Why would two electronics technicians make metal masks and wear them over their eyes? One of the biggest theories is that the men were involved in a secret experiment. Both Manuel Pereira da Cruz and Miguel José Viana were interested in electronics and unusual scientific ideas. Some believe they were testing equipment or trying to protect themselves from some kind of radiation. But there is no evidence proving this. Another theory is connected to spiritual groups. During the 1960s, some people became interested in communicating with higher beings, UFOs, and mysterious forces. Some investigators believe the men were following instructions from a group or a belief system. The note found beside them made this theory even stronger. The words, "Wait for the signal," made many people wonder. What signal? A signal from another person? A signal from a machine? Or something they believed was coming from somewhere else? The capsules they had bought before their deaths also remain a mystery. Were they medicine? A chemical used for an experiment? Or something that caused their deaths? Unfortunately, the investigation could not provide a clear answer. There were no witnesses who saw what happened on the hill. There was no clear cause of death, and many important details were lost over time. Some people believe the case was simply a tragic accident caused by a failed experiment. Others believe there is a darker explanation, a planned meeting that went wrong, a secret organization, or even something connected to UFO beliefs. More than 50 years later, the lead masks case remains unsolved. Two men climbed a hill with strange instructions, wearing strange masks, waiting for a signal that never came. And the world is still asking the same question. What really happened on Morro do Vintém? Over the years, many theories have tried to explain what happened on Morro do Vintém, but none of them can answer every question. One of the most popular theories is that the two men were waiting for contact with something unknown. Some believe they were interested in UFOs or believed they could receive a message from another world. The lead masks may have been used as protection during this supposed contact. However, there is no proof that aliens or UFOs were involved. Another theory suggests that the men were tricked. Maybe someone gave them the instructions, the capsules, and the strange mission. If that is true, who was controlling them? And why was there no trace of another person? Some investigators also considered the possibility of a criminal act, but the lack of injuries, weapons, and evidence made it difficult to prove. The case became even stranger because the exact cause of death was never discovered. Without knowing how they died, every theory remains possible. Today, the lead masks case is remembered as one of Brazil's greatest mysteries. It has appeared in books, documentaries, and discussions about unexplained events. Two ordinary men went to a hill on a normal day in 1966, but they left behind one of the strangest mysteries in history. A mysterious note, 2 homemade lead masks, unknown capsules, and a final question that still has no answer. What were they waiting for? And what happened when the signal never arrived? The truth may have disappeared with Manoa Pereira de Cruz and Miguel Jose Viana, leaving behind a mystery that has lasted for more than half a century.